are in Princeton, BC today. We are at the shop of Ray Bremner's Valley Rods and Classics. So come with us, let's go check out what he's got on the go. Ray, I checked out your website. You started when you were 14 with your first ICBC write-off?
Never thought I'd be doing it 38 years later, but it's something that appealed to me then, and even today, I mean, I really like doing what I do, and it's been a good life doing it. So I'm building another car right now for my wife. It's a 28 Ford sedan. Not many people, I asked Mike earlier about,
I'd never seen one.
About what he thought this motor was, and he actually didn't, he didn't know.
Not a clue.
You didn't know.
So,
Have you seen valve covers like that? I mean, when you really look, you can recognize that as a Lincoln logo.
yeah, and to be honest with you, I was ignorant about what a Lincoln Y-block motor was. I had to actually go out and see it. Wife and I drove out there, and so it's a 368 Lincoln Y-block. So Ford makes Y-blocks. They've made them back in the early 50s, late 50s, early 60s, but a Lincoln Y-block is a completely different animal. It's not even the same. Not one Ford Y-block part will fit on this motor. They're actually a little bit bigger and whatnot. So I looked at the motor. The guy who I bought it from was extremely knowledgeable in this engine. So it's really well built. It's about a 500 horse motor. Back in the late 50s, NASCAR thought, here's a Lincoln Y-block. We're gonna try and fool around with this motor a little bit and try and compete it with the Ford Y-blocks. This put out more torque, more horsepower and everything else. So somebody built 100 intake manifolds for this Lincoln Y-block with dual quad carburetors on it. There was only 100 of them produced. This is one of them. Long story short, I made a deal with this guy on this motor, and that's what's gonna go in the wife's 28. And that car we're building around this motor. So that car is gonna be called the Hot Rod Lincoln. It's getting a candy paint job.
Oh, don't it again.
I bet you it's a red candy.
Red. The motor's gonna go red, candy, everything. It's gonna be this is gonna be the focal point of that car, and I think it's gonna be really cool.
This is it?
This is it. So, unfinished project we picked up from somebody in Langley, fit what we want to do. As far as me building a car for my wife again, she had a really nice 28 a while ago and we sold it. This one is what the Lincoln motor's going in. This car is going to be built around that Lincoln motor. It's going to have some really trick interior features in it that I recently discovered that I want to do to it. It's going to be candy red. It's going to be on air ride. It's going to be low, fenderless car. Fully retractable roof, which is new out of the States. Yeah, this one's gonna be a looker. Well, it's probably gonna take the place of the orange car. I can't afford a Stafford trailer.
No.
So, and I want her to have a nice car too before we retire. As far as the shop goes, I have the full-size booth.
Side draft, down draft.
It's a cross draft. Thanks to my wife, she figured out how to put it all together because I bought in pieces.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're not good at jigsaw puzzles, don't buy a booth. And it turned out really nice. So Mike was asking, what about this color on this car? So to match the motor, you kind of got to match the color. When I do cars, I like the color to pop as much as the rest of the car. The car is a radical looking car. It's got to fit the bill, right? So we went looking at colors. We went to Vernon and looked at a bunch of colors, and my wife spotted this orange. And I thought right away, we took it outside, and it was like somebody plugged an extension cord in as soon as the sun hit it. And I said, yep, that's the color. So it's their tangerine over bright silver. So House of Color actually makes the brightest silver available.
Okay. So it's a tri-coat?
It's a tri-coat.
Okay.
So the silver The silver has to go over a gray base coat, so you put a gray sealer down, and then the silver, and the key with any candy job is the silver has to be 100% even. If it's not, when you spray the transparent top orange coat on, you'll see blotches everywhere, and that's when you see blotchy paint up. And the whole key to that color is walking that color and doing it evenly, so you never stop halfway. This car took 12 straight hours to spray. I tell you, I was gassed when I was done. And I said, I'll never do another candy color as long as I live. It turned out really well. I mean, the car just an eye popper everywhere, right? So,
what was this car to start with?
34 Ford 5-window coupe.
Okay.
It had a 7.5 chop on it, so a tilted chop.
Yeah.
It's all been laid back. I mean, the dissection of this pork body is just incredible, right? To do a chop like this is not for the faint of heart. It's really, really difficult. And then, of course, my wife, she did all the interior in the car. She's not an upholsterer. She claims she's not, but look at it. I mean, she does
clean and simple.
You know, so, but I've had the car for 17 years.
How do you drive it down gravel roads with the tires spewing gently out?
Gently in.
I know I was driving my Chevelle up, and like I said, I was looking for my front hubs there for a while. Where the hell? I said, no wonder Marvin never drove a Scooter up here.
Yeah.
No. Originally, this car, I had a small block Chevy in it with a blower on it, and it was a pretty unique motor, but I've always wanted a Hemi in this car. I figured if you're gonna go big, get one, right? And I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy down in the States called Big Al's Toy Box. They built this motor, 392 Hemi. It's a cast iron block, cast iron heads. They build it for a customer. Customer's like, not enough horsepower.
How many?
Just under 750.
Not enough. Greedy
Now,
Very straight
Greedy
back.
so Big Al advertised this on the internet on his webpage. And for some reason, that morning I went on there and this thing was advertised on there. And I'm looking at the number and I'm thinking, there's gotta be a freaking mistake here. So I phone and he tells me the lowdown on it. They built this motor, brand new blower, brand new pistons, brand new rods, everything, magneto distributor, the whole 9 yards. They had advertised for 14,000 US. But you know what? He says, I think I can get you that motor for about 11.5. So very happy with it. This motor actually fit in the car way better than the small block Chevy. It was like it was meant to be. It was just crazy how it fit in there. So I was really, really happy about that.
Have you ever opened it up?
I have had it down on the flats down there and almost open, and those things just go up in
Flames.
they're just gone. The car's so light that it would be completely out of control, I think.
She's probably pretty nose heavy with that much weight.
I think so. But it drives. I mean, you know, I can drive 110, 120K, and it's just like beautiful.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one I'll probably be buried in this car. It'll be.
No, they'll probably tell you.
All the kids are like, who gets to inherit the 34? No one. No one, not even mom. No. Along with doing the restoration and the cars, you might have seen that car around quite a bit, that Barracuda there.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, I did that car 10 years ago. And so that car has been everywhere. And the guy shows that car super proudly. It's got a 426 Hemi in it. I did that car 10 years ago. To this day, that car is winning trophies that are this tall.
Yep.
It is one heck of a car. When you see that thing in real life, it's nuts.
Well, Ray, thank you so much for having CTO here today, showing us your shop.
No, my pleasure. I'm super happy to have you guys come and see the shop and what goes on and kind of what I'm about. And yeah, really, really appreciate it.
Right
Well,
on.
like I said, as a fellow shop owner, it was really cool to come and see a clean shop for once. I'm quite
pretty-
impressed. Like, I don't know how you do it, but the work you do is amazing. And I can't believe how clean your shop is, man. It blows me away.
Thank you very much, Mike.
No, thank you very much.
Appreciate you
And the
coming out.
burgers were great. He didn't bribe us. He did not bribe us to say this.
Thank you, Mike, for coming and hanging
Thank
out
you
with
much
us
for the
today,
invite.
coming to the
Appreciate it.
show. All right, so until next time, you're on the road with CTO.